Namaste, welcome. This is Abhinav Gulecha, and I welcome you. Now, this is my third chapter, third part of my reading of this book, Zen Mind, Beginner Mind by Shunryu Suzuki. It's a wonderful book, and I'm just taking from chapter 17 onwards, which is Mind Waves. This is from my limited understanding of this book. Please buy this book and read it yourself. It's a beautiful book on Zen. And if you're a beginner of Zen, or if you are even an experienced practitioner, this is a wonderful book to have. Um, Going moving before moving forward, I have a Facebook group, dedicated Facebook group on mindfulness and Zen. So if you are interested, you can join that Facebook group. The link is there in the description. Also, we are on Spotify, so this content is also on Spotify. So you can listen it on Spotify. You can search Lighthouse Souls, and you can listen to our podcast. So let me start. Let us see how far we can cover, like in 10-15 minutes, how much I can cover today. So it talks about mind waves, right? Basically, Suzuki tries to say that when you are practicing zazen, do not try to. Zazen is the meditation, zazen posture, the normal. You can just think about it's meditation. When you do meditation, do not try to stop your thinking. Let it stop by itself. If something comes into your mind, let it come and let it go. It will not stay long. When you try to stop your thinking, it means you are bothered by it, right? So what Suzuki is trying to say is that don't create a barrier. Let the thoughts come and let the thoughts flow, right? If we try to create barriers, that creates a barrier in our practice, and what we resist persists, right? So just let them come and let them go. Suzuki says that we think that something is coming from outside of our mind, but actually it is only the waves of our own mind. And if you're not bothered by the waves, now listen to this deeply. If you're not bothered by the waves, gradually they will become calmer and calmer. In 5 or at most 10 minutes, your mind will be complete serene and calm. And this is what I tell to all my students also, that when you do meditation, it takes like 10 to 15 minutes for the mind to settle. And after that, the deep experience in meditation starts, right? So what we are doing is that we are not yearning for a deep experience. What Suzuki says, that when we sit in meditation, our sitting and our taking that particular posture is itself enlightenment. We are not having any gaining idea of any particular state of mind or any bliss that we want to achieve. No, we just see things as it comes and as it goes. We do not want to have something, project something like I should enter into a thoughtless state, because that projection, that expectation will create a barrier for you to enter into that state. We are already enlightened, we are already in that state, and then when thoughts come, we let them come and let it go. And then over 5 to 10 minutes, our mind, when we focus on our breathing in our abdomen, the in and out movement of our abdomen, we just are aware of our breathing. In that time, mind gets more concentrated because the energy of mindfulness is generated. Mind gets calm and serene, and we enter into that state where thoughts are very little, right? So it is like the normal flow is like this of our mind waves, and then it slowly becomes like this. And then what it happens is, it's just, even it does like this, and then over time, and it doesn't happen like in 1 or 2 sittings, it takes years of practice, and then it becomes this kind of a thoughtless state, right? So, and Suzuki says this. He says it will take quite a long time before you find your calm, serene mind in your practice. That's why it is called practice. It don't, we are into this culture of, and even the younger generation, they are into this culture of instant gratification. So this is not about instant gratification. There are many other things you can try, but this is why we call it as a practice, or in Hindi we use the word sadhana, right? We have to sit, and this is our practice. Many sensations come, many thoughts or images arise, but they are only waves of our mind. So don't think that those thoughts or images, don't go into like finding a specific meaning, or because they all, let all these things don't create, don't let don't let all these things become a blockage in your practice. Just see through them. Nothing comes from outside. Right. The true understanding is that the mind includes everything. So, what you think about coming from outside is all part of your own mind, right? So, nothing outside you can cause any trouble. You yourself make the waves in your mind. If you leave your mind as it is, it will become calm. The mind, that this mind is become called a big mind. So we have our small mind which creates all these waves, and the more we sit and we concentrate on our breathing, we basically let those thoughts subside, and then we enter the state of big mind, which is the Buddha nature or the big Buddha mind, right? So that is our task in our practice. Suzuki says if your mind is related to something outside yourself, this mind is a small mind, limited mind. If your mind is not related to anything else, then there is no dualistic understanding in the activity of your mind. The more basically, so we relate ourselves to something outside, the more the dualistic understanding will be there. The jealousy, anger, fear, all is why, because it is because of our dualistic understanding that there is something outside of us that can cause something. So nothing outside us actually creates the emotions in us. It is only our fear, our anger that the waves generate. At the same time, there is a projection in front of us, but the person is not the problem. The person in front of us is not the problem. It is our own waves of the mind that we don't know how to handle them. And through this practice, we come to the understanding of how to, we cannot fight with these brain waves. This is our conditioning, this is our patterns from our childhood and various lifetimes. What our job is basically to, we now know a way through mindful breathing, we now know a way how to calm this small mind and how to get out of this small mind. Again, when I say getting out of the small mind, it is not that we enter into some other space. We enter into a big mind which incorporates already the small mind in it, right? So we don't go anywhere else. It's just within this dimension there are two different minds, the small mind and the big mind. So at this time, I can choose whether I live from my small mind or through my practice I step into my big mind, and that makes all the difference, right? Even though waves arise, the essence of your mind is pure. It is just like clear water with a few waves. So Suzuki is giving the example of a water and the waves, right? Actually, the water always has waves. Waves are the practice of water. To speak of waves apart from water or the water apart from waves is a delusion. That means, so what we actually think is, we generally what we do is that what creates a barrier in our practices is that we think that these thoughts should not come. These thoughts are something outside of us, and they are creating this barrier in our meditation practice, not letting us go in the meditation practice. So thoughts are like waves. The waves are like, the waves are water, right? So we have to have that understanding that the thoughts are actually our mind, our big mind. They are our big mind. They are not some from coming from somebody. So what this helps is that instead of fighting or being wanting to be in a different state than from what we are, we kind of befriend our current state in which these thoughts are running. And this is crucial to our practice. The more we are at peace with our thoughts flowing in during our meditation, the more easily we will be in a state of achieving. Achieving is not the right word, it's a wrong word actually, but we will be in that space to be in the big mind, right? Whatever you experience is an expression of the big mind. As I said, whatever is in our experience, what we see outside, our own limited patterns, our own anger, negativity, fear, they are all an expression of our big mind. So don't think that small mind is something else and big mind is something else, and I want to go from point A to point B. No, it is not like that, right? Okay. Good, bad experiences. The activity of the big mind is to amplify itself through various experiences. In one sense, our experiences coming one by one are always fresh and new, but in other sense, they are nothing but a continuous or repeated unfolding of one big mind. For example, if you have something good for breakfast, you will say this is good. Good is supplied as something experienced sometime long ago, even though you may not remember. With big mind, we accept each of our experience as if recognizing the face we see in the mirror as our own. For us, there is no fear of losing the mind. There is nowhere to come or go, no coming, no going, as Thai says, Thich Nhat Hanh. There is no fear of death, no suffering from old age. We just allow it to come and go. We, so we don't have any preconceived notions on how things should, because the more we have preconceived notions, are good and bad, the more we do not accept things as they are in this moment, right? So we just think that all these things that happen in our life, the good, bad, ugly, all the things are expression of that one big mind that is already happening. So we get out of our small mind which says this is good, this is bad, I accept this, I don't accept this. We have to be in that state where we just accept whatever is coming as an expression of the big mind, and this comes through practice. This comes through practice, right? Because we enjoy all aspects of life as an unfolding of big mind, we do not care for any excessive joy. So we have imperturbable composure, and it is with this imperturbable composure of the big mind that we practice zazen. We accept all the possibilities, we accept everything that comes our way, rather than labeling them or judging them, because we realize that this is all one big mind expressing itself so deep, so deep. Okay, mind weeds, beautiful section, right? Mind weeds. I will just say what the initial line says. You should rather be grateful for the weeds you have in your mind, because eventually they will enrich your practice. So all these thoughts and all, the more there are thoughts in you while you meditate, be thankful to them. They will take you deep into your practice. How? This is what Suzuki explains. Suzuki says that when there's an alarm bell that rings in the morning, and there's this thing that you have to get up and move and go to your office, or if you are practicing in a monastery, to the Zendo. Zendo is the place where they meditate. So these are all the waves of the mind. In pure zazen, there should not be any waves in your mind. When you are sitting, these waves will become smaller and smaller, and your effort will change into some subtle feeling. So, with regular practice of zazen, the sitting meditation, these waves will become small during the meditation and even during the day, right? Pulling the weeds, we give nourishment to the plant. We pull the weeds and bury them near the plant to give it nourishment. So, even though you have some difficulty in your practice, even though you have some waves while you are sitting, these waves themselves will help you. So, you should not be bothered by your mind. You should rather be grateful to the weeds, because eventually they will enrich your practice. If you have some experience of how the weeds in your mind change into mental nourishment, your practice will make remarkable progress. Suzuki says, any effort we make is not good for our own practice because it creates waves in our mind. It is impossible, however, to attain the absolute calmness of our mind without any effort. So, we must make some effort. Effort is our mindful breathing, our zazen, right? But we must forget ourselves in the efforts we make. So, over time, as I practice in my meditation, I should reach a stage where I forget that, yeah, I am even breathing. As in the earlier chapters, what Suzuki says, the I is something I am breathing. In that, the I is extra. There is only breathing that happens, and the throat is like the swinging door between the inhale and the exhale that is happening. In this realm, there is no subjectivity or objectivity. Our mind is just calm without any awareness. In this unawareness, even every effort and every idea and thought will vanish. So it is necessary for us to encourage itself and to make an effort up to the last moment, when all effort. So what I understand is, what reflections I have is, Zen way of living is basically where you just live. You just live without any thinking. You just live without any ideas or concepts or how things should work in a certain way. You just, again, you just peel the potatoes. You just peel the potatoes. You just peel the potatoes. You don't do anything else, right? Now, don't do anything else is extra. You just peel the potatoes, right? So you should keep your mind on your breathing until you are not aware of your breathing. So this is our practice. We become more and more, we keep our mind on our breathing so much that over time we lose our sense of self. Abhinav loses his sense of being Abhinav. There's only the breathing that remains. And Abhinav is just aware about that breathing, and Abhinav loses awareness that Abhinav is Abhinav breathing, right? I don't know whether it is making sense. Maybe to some of you it is making sense. For many of you, it may be going bouncer. When I first read this book, it was a bouncer for me also. But this is deep, and as Suzuki says, at ultimately, Zen is the only way of practice. The only way of true practice is Zen, and this is so true, expressing our truest nature. Okay, we should try to, so effort is necessary at the initial stage. You have to, so what I think Suzuki says in the earlier and the further chapters is that effort you have to make. You cannot say, as a beginner, you cannot say that since everything is Zen, so whatever I do is Zen. No, you have to do it till you reach a stage where you can by experience say that whatever I am doing is Zen, so I don't have to do anything extra, right? It is. I remember one thing when I was very beginner in my practice. I think it was like some in 2005, 2006 when I started my spiritual journey. So I asked asked my teacher that why should I do an effort if everything is just happening? Then what is why I should do any effort? And he said, till you understand it experientially. No, your understanding is right now conceptual understanding, but till you understand it experientially, that your effort is not needed, everything is just happening on its own. Till that time you reach this experience, kind of from an experience you understand, keep your practice, keep your effort, right? So this is deep. Okay, we should try to continue our effort, but we should not expect to reach some stage when we will forget all about it. We should just try to keep our mind on our breathing. Zen is all about zazen. Zen is all about breathing. There are not a set of practices. So if you have come to Zen with an expectation that Zen will tell you 15 things to do, and you have like a checklist which you need to do, you are ready, because in all these other practices you have certain steps, certain processes. The beauty of Zen is its simplicity. Yeah, and that is what, over time, as I matured spiritually and I came across this book, Zen Mind, Beginner Mind, I realized that this is what is the, I will say, bare bones spirituality that I was looking at. No concepts, no ideas, no worshipping some god and expecting that god to give me salvation. Nothing. I just do one thing, and that is it, right? No, so not everyone will resonate with this idea, right? And that is perfectly fine. There are few, and maybe if you are watching till now, you are one of them, right? That's absolutely fine. And in all religions, like in Hinduism, we have Advait Vedanta, like the books like Teachings of Raman Maharishi, I Am That by Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj, Advait, Ashtavakra Gita. I came across all these books during my as I was progressing spiritually, and then I came to this book, and then it was like, that's it, full stop. I have to do this only, and then searching for Zen, I moved to. I'll do a separate video on what attracted me to mindfulness. I'll cover everything in more detail, right? Okay, so we should just try to keep our mind on breathing. This is our actual practice. That effort will be refined more and more while you are sitting. At first, the effort you make is quite rough. So at first, your effort will be impure, it will be rough, there will be a lot of thoughts, and you'll be fighting with your thoughts. All that will happen. But with the power of practice, as Thai says, with the energy of mindfulness that gets generated, your effort will become purer and purer. When your effort becomes pure, your body and mind becomes pure. When your effort becomes pure, your body and mind becomes pure. Ultimately, what we want, friends, ultimately what I want is that I want to free myself of my mental afflictions, afflictions that have bound me, that have created karma, the wheel of karma, that is, I'm bound by this wheel of karma. Those affliction I want to, so I want to purify myself. That is my one goal. Purify myself, my body, my mind. This effort will purify me. This is the way we practice Zen. But the way of practice just to be concentrated on your breathing with the right portion, with great pure effort. This is how we practice Zen. So I think, I don't know. I think we have just covered. We are on page 21. I have covered. So I think I will just keep it for the next part. 20 minutes is fine, and please wait. This book is going, brilliant. Lot of new insights are going to come in the next chapter. So stay tuned. So this is it. If you're not joined the Facebook group, do join the Facebook group, and maybe you can share the learnings from this readings, in from this in the Facebook group. We can discuss more about those aspects. So thanks a lot for watching this video. I hope it was helpful in some small way. Please do give your comments in the comment section, and I'll personally reply to all your comments. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you. Take care. God bless you. Thank you.